You know, my mother said to me the other day, what is it with you gay people that every time you get around somebody, you got to let them know you're gay? What is it? I said, look, Ma, if I tell everybody I'm gay, and everybody I know tells everyone they know I'm gay, and they all tell everybody that I'm gay, and everybody knows I'm gay, it improves my odds for a date on Saturday night. She bought it. Right? But you know, homophobia is something that I'm sort of over now. I mean, I expect it every time I go around the corner. What I'm most concerned about, I got to tell you the truth, is hojophobia. Yeah. Hojophobia, that's the fear that Howard Johnson's will find out I'm gay. Okay? I don't understand it either. But the other, of course, is when I was growing up was ho-ho-mophobia. The fear that Santa would find out I'm gay. Let me ask you something. There are a lot of straight people here, right? You were born that way? Is that right? Born that way? Or was it something traumatic that happened in your childhood? Domineering mother, weak father? You know the story, right? Is that it? I don't know. I guess if I could have known I was gay, let's make sure I've got the, that reminds me. You know that when gay people work their way into the mainstream that a lot of stuff's going to come out. A lot of stuff you never knew, like, you know that Elvis is really holed up in the Tennessee hills with some gorgeous young guy who we insist wear Priscilla's hairdo from 1969? Right? You know that's coming, right? You know we're going to find the lost lesbian episodes of Lucy. Right? And this is something else none of you realize. Not one gay man or lesbian worked on the renovation of the Statue of Liberty. Think about it. $100 million, she's still in the same green dress. No, I know. Could have been this. Could have been this. I tell you. I think that if I could have known I was gay in first grade, it might have been kind of nice. You know, all the guys in my class were in love with our first grade teacher, right, guys? Yeah. I was in love with the janitor. Yeah. Oh, it's a great guy, Mr. Keys. It's crazy about him. Also, you know, in the 50s, everybody did Love Lucy, right? I love Desi, okay? In fact, my first artistic endeavor was what I called my Bullwinkle and Rocky period. I loved, yeah, those moonlit nights, right? Then I got a little more sexual. I got into my Picasso period. You know, then I got like really crazy, you know. I went with Andy Warhol and pop art. I was having a ball by then. See, my big fantasy in 7th grade was to sneak into the showers and watch the guys lather up. Then I realized, hey, I am a guy. I don't have to sneak. It's a big realization. I was in love with a guy named Earl Cochran. Now, Earl, oh God, Earl and I were wrestling partners. He'd pin me down on the mat and go, give, give, and I'd think, I can't give you anything but love. So crazy for Earl. Our class would swim nude in the school pool, okay? So we'd do these gladiator fights where you'd ride on the other guy's shoulders. Earl wanted me to ride on his shoulders. There's no way. It would have been like having a windshield wiper back here. So Earl rode on my shoulders. You know what that's like? Uh-huh. I mean, it was the only time in my life I wanted to be like Mickey Mouse's dog Pluto, you know, where he could spin his head all the way around. It's crazy for Earl. High school days. Ann Landers. I want to tell you about Ann. I wrote a letter to Ann. I said, well, she sent a booklet to me on sex and the teenager. Maybe some of you have seen this. It's really true. A couple questions for gay people. How do I know if I'm homosexual? Ann said, if you have the desire to kiss, touch, or become intimate with someone of the same sex, it's a strong indication that you may be homosexual. This is my indication right here, Ann. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Then there was the other question. What do I do if a gay approaches me? Ann said, you need only tell him or her you are not interested and leave the scene at once. What scene, Ann? Where is this place? How do I get there? I was so in love in high school with the football players and the basketball players, these tall Norwegian boys, right? It's crazy for these guys, but I'd stay up there in the bleachers with everyone else during those games and do those cheers. Lutefisk, lefsa, we'll beat your team, yeah, sure, ya betcha. My Spanish teacher, I was in love with my Spanish teacher, who, by the way, was also Norwegian. That's why to this day, when I speak Spanish, it comes out, ya, yo tengo mucho dinero, muchas gracias, ya. religion held me back. Religion just kept me way back in the closet, you know. I mean, well, for example, where I come from in North Dakota, when the 10 Commandments came to our local theater, at intermission, 20 people confessed to the ushers. You getting the picture? Well, it's red, white, and blue. I thought you'd go for it in some way. You've heard about the gay Bible. Yeah. The same people who do USA Today are doing the gay Bible. Yeah, it's going to have all those pie charts, all those graphs, all that kind of stuff, you know. Like this one, 80%. Question is, how many of the disciples were really in love with Jesus? 80%. You know, the Last Supper in the gay Bible is a brunch. It's going to be called the brunch finale. Yeah. Oh, can you hear Simon talking to Judas? Judas, you got to get there, man. I tell you, they're going to be talking about this one for years. Now listen, we're chipping in to get him a little bottle of wine. No, you don't understand. His last batch went bad, and he's feeling very vulnerable right now. So look, give your money to Paul. Well, rob Peter to pay Paul. And wear something nice. We're posing for a portrait. Oh, let me show you my first apartment that my parents came to see when I was still in the closet. Now, you have to understand, when I was in the closet, I never wanted to see my apartment because I thought there were maybe too many things in this apartment that were gay. So before they arrived, I made sure that I de-gayed the apartment. You know. But it didn't work so long because they're not there 5 minutes and my phone machine goes on and a voice says, "Hey Rick, it's John. Who was that cute guy I saw you with last night?" Right? 5 minutes they're there. You know, a friend came from upstairs to borrow 5, and I was keeping the door open just a little bit because my parents were there, you know. And he said, "Rick, can I borrow 5? I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why you got the door?" I said, "Well, I've got somebody here." He said, "Oh yeah, is he cute?" I said, "Well, it's my dad." He said, "Oh, kinky." I said, No. I said, "My mom's here too." He said, "Oh, Burd, you're sick. You can't win." I'll tell you, I've got to tell you that when I did finally come out, you know, it was kind of slow. At first I'd say, "Well, I've been seeing this person." Not a man, not a woman, but this person. Finally, a friend said to me, "Rick, are you gay or what?" I said, "Well, I've had sex with different sexes." "Rick, there are only 2. So, you know, I just want to say that, you know, they gave me the light. They gave me the light. Okay, let me cut to the quick. You know, what's it like for straight people if they had to hide, you know? Imagine this, the girl says to the fella, "I just got off the phone with my folks. They're on their way over. You know we don't want them to know that we're living a heterosexual lifestyle. So look, I'll hide the his and her mugs. We'll put away the his and her towels. I'll put my clothes in the hall closet. Let's put a spare bed in that spare bedroom for you. And oh my God, they're coming up the driveway now. Quick, hide the kids." We all come from dysfunctional families, and you know what that really means, don't you? Dis, from the Latin root to separate, funk from the African Swahili to get down, Sean from Chanel No. 5, which really means get away from me, you stink, right? We've got to learn to nurture. This is the important thing. I just want to share that I had a kitten and I nurtured it. I didn't have a tongue, so I used a little cotton swab. You know, they get all backed up if you don't clean them, so I use a little cotton swab on their genitals, you know, and that way no, I tried it on myself. It's fantastic. Thank you, you've been a great audience.